It's getting darker earlier now. The days are getting shorter. The nights are getting longer and colder. There are seasons in our life like this too. I wonder, how does God sustain you through the darkness, through the cold? Hi everyone, Jim Krumholtz, pastor of St. Paul's Lutheran Church in Edison, New Jersey, with this week's Bible reading and sermon preview. When we gather around God's Word again this weekend, we'll hear poetry from Isaiah 61, 1 through 11, and a song, Psalm 126. These passages overflow with joy. These are spirit-filled voices singing, shouting, dancing, rejoicing in God's liberation and salvation from sin and death. But if we listen closely to these songs, we'll discover that these joyous words are sung, shouted, spoken at a time when the light has gone out. The word we hear this week is a word of joy that first remembers what God has done for us in the past and then rejoices as we eagerly anticipate the new birth, the new creation that is ready to take place. This joy bubbles up out of a deep, deep spring of faith. It's the same faith that sustains us through the darkest night, where we rest in peace, trusting that God will create a new tomorrow for us. This word is a gift in a season like this. Through these faith-filled, exuberant songs, God invites us to join all of God's creation in reveling in the joy of salvation. But where does God's liberation and rescue come from? How is God going to save us? And how will we know when it is happening? Don't be afraid. John the Baptist appears in our gospel reading from the first chapter of John. We'll find John telling us about the unique mission God has given. John is not the light of the world, but he is the witness to the light that's coming. John is not the Christ, but he prepares the way for the coming of God's only Son. Through John, God sustains our faith, stirs up our hope, and gives us an overwhelming joy that anticipates the fullness of salvation in the coming of Jesus Christ. And that's what we do by God's grace at St. Paul. We bear witness to the true light that has come into the world, and we invite you to come and have your faith renewed and your joy restored as Christ comes to you through the Word and the sacraments. So come and join us in worship this week, Saturday at 5:30 p.m., Sunday at 10 a.m. This Saturday evening is our Sunday school children giving a Christmas pageant, telling the story of Jesus' birth as part of a service of Holy Communion. Think of it as our Christmas special, a little something to keep us all focused on God's gift of life and salvation in Jesus Christ. Peace.